Yeah, so it's in keep going. It says phrase implementation being begins in Addis Ababa, right? Must be a city in that's in Ethiopia, some type of city that's in Ethiopia that's starting there. And this was January 6th, 2022 when this article was pushed out. So it's not even that many days ago. So not long ago. Yeah, it says an Ethiopian government policy requiring the mandatory use of the national digital ID, right? So it's not just an ID, right? Because it's just saying because when you first think of a digital ID, you can think, okay, it's just the ID. But when we read up there, it says something about banking. You know what I'm saying? So what do an ID got to do with banking? But it's more than just your ID. See, this is the thing that we've been trying to give warning about, right? That mark of the beast, right? The MOTB, um, you know, use of the national digital ID, otherwise known as FIDA, FIDA for banking transactions, which as the opening of a bank account has gone into effect in the capital as Bae. Let me see if I can get that thing to speak to me. See, no, why is it? Okay, there we go. Just the funky man. Don't you hate that one? I'm trying to, yeah, there we go. Trying to get it to, just trying to. Don't. Okay, you don't want me to do it that way. Okay. Calm down. Okay, it's all right. There we go. Finally, okay. Let's see. Fucking
Addis Ababa.
Addis Agaba. I still don't know how to say it, but Addis Ababa, which must town says the capital of Ethiopia somewhere, someplace in Hamland. Says according to authorities, the policy will be implemented in a phased manner between now and December 31st of 2026. So they're gonna take this whole year, right? Which makes sense. It makes sense because they have the Agenda 2025, right? Which I believe even Trump's probably gonna go into this, right? I believe he's gonna do it, man. That's coming. Even Trump's gonna do this because this is one of their the elites thing, the Agenda 2025, right? So this is them implementing the Agenda 25 throughout the whole world, right? So you got to start here, start there, start a little place, and then throughout the course of the year they'll go, well, so and so's already doing it, and they're having a great time while they're doing it. Ethiopia's doing it. Oh, over there in West fucking bumfuck fucking Egypt or whatever the hell. Well, hey, man, just say Egypt's doing it, right? They're having a great time doing it. They're using it, and then as a snowball effect to get everybody to do it, right? Kind of what they did with the CV-19. They told you China, and then it went to another place, then it went somewhere in Europe, and then all of a sudden, boom, it hit here. And before we were thinking, nah, well, that's way over there on the other side of the world. That ain't coming over here. Yeah, you thought, you know? It says FIDA ID. It says 2026, and in order to allow citizens who have not acquired the FIDA ID the opportunity to do so. Wow. Right, hey, you're gonna do it. Hey, it's mandatory. If you haven't had time to do it, we're going to give you this year. By the end of 2025, you better be in order. You better have it all. Everybody better have it. The fighter now has over 11 million um, registrations. Yeah. So they already got a lot of people already so-called registered. That's what they're saying, right? Yeah. So it says since January 1st, the measure has been affected in the capital market. Ethiopia reports the policy will be extended to bank branches. Right. Well, see, that's what I said. Because when you first hear it, you hear it's just an ID. Okay, I could deal with a digital ID. It's just an ID. The police pull you over for whatever. Hey, here's my digital ID. It's just a digital ID. But I shouldn't need it to have to go banking. I should be able to pull out my regular ID, or the bank know that my debit card, and I know my thing, and I know my social security number. I don't need a digital ID. I shouldn't need it to do anything else. But see what they're doing? They're making sure they tie it right into the banking system, where you have to buy and sell. Save he that had the mark, right? And it's mandatory, right? So we know where it's headed, right? It says in other major cities of the country from July 1st, while a nationwide implementation is scheduled for January 1st of 2026. Yes. I mean, they own it, man. They own it. All banks accounts holders are required. See, or right into your banking system, are required to link. Wait a minute. They are required to link their account with their with with their FIDA ID. Wow. By December, so like a December 31st, 2026. God dang it, boy. Mandatory. Hey, man, that's going to happen to the whole world. About to happen everywhere. But this ain't the mark of the beast. So if you get the ID, it ain't the mark of the beast, right? Right? It's once they get you to implement it into the actual to your skin to actually be biometrics, then that's the mark of the beast. So this ain't the mark of the beast, but we can see where they're going. We can see where the train or the bus is headed to, right? You know what I mean? You ever catch a bus or whatever, even a train, and it'll have the little light up thing, and it's telling you where it's going. That's what they're doing right now. They're letting you know that that's not the MOTB, but we are headed that way, and we're showing you that by that especially by that signification of force, by it's mandatory to link your bank account with your FIDA, right? It's mandatory. Where was I at? So lucky because I started. Yeah, because they want it to be. Oh wait, yeah, here it is. That all bank holders, all bank account holders are required to link their accounts with their FIDA ID by December 31st of 2026. Mandatory, required, right? Like they showing, hey man, draconian laws, draconian measures is about to commence, man. It's about to happen all over the world. Shoot, says the government, right, which means mind control, because they just control it, says the policy is part of of affect affects affectors affectors to incorporate the digital ID into all aspect. Wait a minute, Bishop Nate, IUIC, ISUPK. Who else don't belong? Zabak, right? HOI. Y'all better pay attention. Wait a minute. Into all aspects of of national life to thereby making access to make import im- important services easier, right? That's what they want. Oh, there you go. Now that's gonna make it easier. Oh fuck. But specifically, the move aims to improve financial. Oh, there you go. Financial. Let's see what this financial. Please hit the thing, right? I don't want the whole thing. I just want just the thing. Just that. Oh, it didn't give me a definition. Okay. Let's see.
Inclusion.
Financial inclusion. Yeah, right. Financial inclusion. I was trying to get the definition of it. But we kind of know what inclusion mean, right? Already. But because there's no way you can make it be financially can you be inclusion, right? Especially when there's some people who have more money than other people, or the only way they're going to say have an inclusion is when everybody's getting the exact same amount, right? Going into that the universal basic income, right? Or the global income. I don't know what they're gonna call it. I know at one point they were talking about it calling it the universal basic income, but they may just call it the global income, right? And then everybody gets the same amount. Everybody gets $2,500, no matter who you are. Everybody gets the same amount of money. You get the same amount to pay for whatever you need to pay for within the house or whatever, and that's it. And that'll be your basic income. And that's so you can't buy more than what you need. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't secretly go behind and have and make money under the table, do things so you can advance yourself. Nah, they finna shut all that down. Basically, is what they're saying. From what I'm seeing. What was I at? Slovakia, because this thereby making to improve financial inclusion. Okay. Enables banks to better verify their customers, right? So as to reduce bank fraud, right? Right. See, I wouldn't even see. I was just doing Wayne. Really, it's so you can't go make some money under the table, right? Because they're saying bank fraud, but it's really so you can't make no extra money, right? And not that people don't commit bank fraud, but even that's a way that someone can advance, make a little extra money because ain't nobody giving us nothing, right? You know what I mean? The rich keep getting richer, the poor get poor. Hey, and other people have figured it out. Man, how do you get rich? Obviously, you would think it doesn't make sense. Why would you need to rob the poor to get rich? But if you actually understand how to get rich is to rob the poor. That's why you have that poor dad, rich dad, and dude comes around, sell his books, talks about all these different things, but he knows because he's part of the elite. He's part of that thing. He knows where this thing is going. He knows everything's going into the MOTB. He knows pretty soon it ain't gonna be a place where you could buy land and invest in houses and real estate and all this other madness that shit is gonna be out the window, man. Right? They're gonna force you to do this digital currency, man, which in turn eventually it's going to be the actual MOTB. So this is not the MOTB, right? But we're headed that way, fastly approaching it, right? Because if they can do this within this 1 year, and they're going to fill it out, and then and then they're going to see if they can go ahead and get people to actually just say, hey, look, you're already carrying it in your hand, you're already swiping your phone. You know what I'm saying? Don't you grab your phone with your thing and you swipe it across the thing? Well, come on, what's the difference, buddy? Just put it in your hand. Come on now. Hey, it's no big deal, right? Hey, look, I got one. Come on, man. Look, yeah. Now I don't have to reach in my pocket and pull out my phone. Come on, buddy. It's a lot easier, you know? Come on. Look at this. Look at all the cool things and the gadgets I can do, right? Trying to sell it, man. Sell it to you, man. Hey, but not for the elect. You are not gonna get the elect to get down with this madness, man. Right? Because you don't get the power of Israel, the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You're gonna get him angry coming against the elect, man. And that's when the Lord's gonna come down, man, while you're eating, man. Right? While you think you're doing something great, man. Right? So yeah, they can validate the customers better, easier to reduce bank fraud and to enter data security and make transactions more secure, and everything's all better, man. Everything is good, right? Per Ethiopian ID authorized, the new policy not only brings the country in tandem with international best practices in the banking sector, it also sets the template I'm not saying it right, I know. Template. Let me see if I can get the no. Trying to get the template. Okay, template. I thought I was saying it wrong because it looks wrong. I don't know. For involution shoot. Yeah, let's get the definition too. It's gonna show me the definition. Innovation. See, the action of producing, of innovation is crucial to the current success of any organization. Right. Innovation. Yeah, so now it's yes, basically a change, right? That's what it's saying. They're making a change, and the creation of robust financial ecosystem with which is visual. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Vital. It's like vital for the nation's economic growth. How the fuck? That doesn't even make sense, right? That don't even make sense. Because now they're gonna tell you, you got this digital stuff, and then every year, sometime it's gonna have to update, and they're gonna tell you got to cough up more money to update their system. Oh, we need a new firewall. We need a new such and such. We need a new. So how is that helping anybody? Right? How is that going to help build the growth of the economy? Really, you're going to be taking more money from the economy, right? As they already do now. When you go to the store, a lot of these places, if you use your debit card, you actually pay about 30 to maybe 80 cents more, right? Because you got to think of taxes, because whatever you're buying, you're hitting taxes. Then after you get hit with the tax, there's like a 35 cent to maybe 50 cents, depending on where you go, a fee to use your debit card. So you're actually being robbed a lot more of your money using this digital stuff, because that's all a debit card is. Yeah, your money's get put in there or whatever. but it's just digital money. That's all it is. And you're actually getting robbed more for your digital money than if you just pay cash. And it'll be done, right? But they're gonna sell this off to you as this is the greatest idea ever, right? The greatest. It's for the national economy growth. Guys, see the economy's gonna grow. Yeah, and a lot of you I can see it. It says the move to make FIDA mandatory for banking operations was first announced last year. See, so they've been on it, man. They've been on it, and it is a joint endeavor of the National Bank of Ethiopia, right? Which most likely, are you a Rothschild bank? Are you controlled by the Rothschilds, or are you a bank that's controlled by another bank that other bank, and the other bank is controlled by Rothschild? Probably most likely, right? Right, because Ethiopia, you're supposed to be the Falashan Jews, which don't make sense. Not to say there ain't no Israelites among them, because I mean our seed was, spread around, amongst all the nations, but there ain't no such thing as an Ethiopian Jew. That doesn't begin to make sense, bro. Not even a little bit. Not unless he's, part of the seed line. But to just blanket statement Ethiopians as Jews, you cannot do that. Nope, that's not. So the country's central bank, Rothschild Central Bank, the country's central bank, and the National ID program, right, supported for 2025. Oh, yep, it's already 20, and they want it done by 2020, 2030, baby, 2030. Digital government
Strategy.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Strategy, a plan of action or policy, which that's what they're doing, designed to achieve a major or overall aim. And the aim is what the MOTB, man, the New World Order, the overall aim of the New World Order, time to develop. Yep. Yep, that's what they're saying. A coherent economic strategy. Right? Basically, a master plan, right? Grand design, game plan, plan of action, policy. Yep, that's what that's basically what they're saying. All this shit talking about policy. This is our policy, right? That's all a policy is. Policy is a plan of action. And it is also vital in advancing the nation's 5-year digital government strategy, right? So that's what they're saying, and we're giving this, which that's what they've been saying, because that's their plan, is to have everything together, situated for 2030. So they're giving this like a 5-year plan. Now I can see, right? This ain't no time to be trying to own a business, right? So this right now is definitely not a time to try to own a business or do any of those type of things. Now we're in that time for sure, right? But hey, yeah. So this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 11, right? Because that is definitely coming to. This is going to be global. It's not just going to be Ethiopia. That's going to be a global mandation around the world, right? Each little country, government, whatever, is going to mandate going into some type of ID, but then somehow the ID is directly linked to your bank. I mean, go figure that. That doesn't even begin to make sense. Yeah, they have 15 dead in an explosion. See, call all you and your how about your shot. Hey, the Lord is this is time of judgment, great destruction and judgment, man. And I beheld, right, which means feature eyes look, pay attention, another beast coming up out of earth, right, which means amongst the people, right, amongst the nations. It's a nation of people. And it says, and he had two horns like a lamb, right? Going into the Roman Empire, right? Well, the Greco, I think they had two, but more you understand that the Roman Empire had the plebeians and the patricians, right along with the revised Roman Empire, which is America, Babylon the Great, right along with NATO, but mostly America, right? Having the Republicans and the Democrats. I forget what they have over there in England and all that other stuff, but they do have a prime minister, which is basically the president, and I believe they have a cabinet and like a Congress and all that other stuff when it comes to that. So it's basically pretty much the same thing. They just call it, instead of it being president or emperor, right, or Caesar, it's a it's a president or a prime minister, which is pretty much the same thing, because I believe in the Roman thing, the Caesar had to get voted in, right, or they only rule only for a certain space, kind of like they do here, right? You get a four-year term, and when you're 4 years up, you have to run again, and then after you run again, you could win again and get a second term, but if you lose, you'll have to wait till the next term, and then kind of like what Trump is at right now, and now he's getting his last 4 years, and supposedly he should not be able to have to run ever again. He can't run again. But that goes into that whole system, the plebeians and patricians, the Republicans and Democrats, right, which is the second leg of Rome, right? And they had two horns like a lamb, and that lamb is basically referring themselves as being angelic sons of Isaac, which they call themselves Anglo-Saxons, which they are not the true Anglo-Saxons. The true Anglo-Saxons is the so-called black men that you see today, whether there be Benjamin, right, which is the so-called Jamaican West Indies islands out over there, Virgin Islands, and or Haiti, right, the Haitians, so-called Haitians, which are Levites, or the so-called black African American, right, which there's no such thing as black. That's not a nationality. There's no nationality called African American, right? Even in Africa, they don't call their nationality African. Africa is a continent, right? Not a nationality. It's not even a country. It's a continent, right? Because the only reason why America is America, because you have the continent of America, right? North America, which would be Canada and America, right? Then you got Central America, which would be like Mexico, going down to Central Mexico, and then you got South America, which is Brazil. But they're not all calling themselves American, right? So just to say African, that's such a stupid blanket dumbass statement. So you can't be black African American, man. It just don't make sense. So that being said, you are the Israelites, you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indians of Indian and Negro descent, the ones they put in the ghettos, the barrios, the reservations, and they pretend to be you. They say they're the lamb. They say that they're the Anglo-Saxon. They say that they're the Jewish, right? But these are blatant lies, right? In order to deceive the people, right? And spake as a dragon. So they came in this thing saying that they're this wholesome people. They show you Charleston Hester as bringing the Ten Commandments. They show you these Passion of the Christ, and it's always somebody white. They show you all these different things, but they have been nothing but what the devil, right? And they're gonna come with these draconian laws, the draconian measures, giving you a mandation to transfer your money over or transfer your ID, which is going to link to your money, mandatory to link it to your central bank, wherever you're from, wherever you at, because it's not just going to be Ethiopia. And they're going to speak as a dragon, going back into them being the Roman Empire, that red dragon, the Roman Greco Empire, that red dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast, right, which is the Roman Empire, Roman Greco Empire, that red dragon, before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, which, like I said, the plebeians, the patricians, but for now, it's the Republican, the Democrats, and they even play off a little thing, giving you like a thing on a ballot, independent, and I think it's independent, right? And then I think there's another one, but I know they put independent. But when have an independent ever won presidency? It's never happened. It's never happened. An independent has never won presidency in here. So it lets you know that those two horns goes into the Republican and the Democrat, right? Being in the second leg of Rome, right? Rome 2.0, right? Which going into the digital state of Rome, right? Because now it's more digital, right? More technology, techocracy. I think that's what they call it, techocracy, right? That's what's coming. Not democracy, but techocracy, and that's what they're going to start using to control everything. Technology to cause of the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Right, which, like I said, would be the Roman Empire, Roman Greco Empire, had the deadly wound and it was healed, and they returned. Right, and they exercised all the power of the first beast, right? Matter of fact, let me read this too real quick, because that just remind me of in Second Esdras. Yeah, so this Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the first beast, right? Right, right, giving life to the image of the first beast, because it says it had the deadly wound that was healed. So giving life back to it, to basically, what is it called? They have a thing over in Europe, right, called the Roman Treaty, right? So that's giving life back to Rome, because they know who they are, right? They know that they're the Romans, NATO, EU, and America. It's a thing. You can look it up. It's called the Roman Treaty, right? And, in the system, just the way the democracy system is all set up, like I said, the plebeian, the patrician, the Democrat, the Republican, that whole thing, they're basically giving life back to the one that had the deadly wound, and they're giving it life back into it by pushing forth, some of the same things, but we're living in a modern time, so a lot of people don't see the correlation to it. But then when you look at those buildings, every major government building type of thing looks a lot like those Roman pillars that they had in Rome and in Greece, right? Going back to Petra, right? Mount Seir, right? So if you could see it, and so that's basically what gave life back to it, showing that hey, we know who we are. We know we are now. We're just gonna basically do it in within plain sight, which plain sight is like the best place to have it, because people don't pay attention to plain sight a lot of times. Of the first beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many, right, going into draconial laws. They're gonna go into the draconial laws and cause it to speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? Going into those draconian laws, because they saying it's mandatory. It's mandatory to get this digital ID, but which it's not at the MOTB yet, but we could see where they're going. We could see where they're heading. And pretty soon they're gonna kill them that will not allow them to insert the micro C hip into them. They're gonna kill them, right? And causeth and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, right? Whether if it's a baby or an old person, a rich person, right? You see them burning up them Palisades out there, which Palisades, you know, that could be like a nomen omen too, right? Because Palisade goes back to, the Charagma, right? Going into, how they pierce the ground to make a wall to pin Israel in, right? To keep you entrapped, right? A snare, so to speak, right? And which I'll pull it up right now. It says, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, right? which Elon Musk just came out with the brain. What's it called? The blind. I forgot because I did a lesson on it, but it's called the blind something. I guess if you're blind, he could put two screws, two computer things in your head with computer wires in your head, and then use the frequency from your brains to the wires to the computer, and it'll start allowing you to see images through your eyes, and you'll be able to see. And that's these miracles that they're gonna have, right? So they're gonna to receive free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save, right? To save yourself, save he that had the mark or the number of the beast, or no, or the name, or he that had the mark or the number of, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? And here is wisdom. Let him that haveth understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 600, 6, which is 666, right? Which we know that this system has always ran off of 666 when you go into the product buying code, right? Right. But when they're telling you that your thing is going to have to be switched over to the digital, your IDs have to be switched to the central bank digital currency. That digital currency is going to have a product buying code to that, and that product buying code is going to have 666 on it, right? Which goes into, I'm in the Blue Letter Bible. Blue Letter Bible. Yeah, I don't like that one. Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, Blue Letter Bible. Reading the same thing, and we're going to go into the word mark, all right? So we can get a little bit better understanding.
Strong's G 5480, Charagma.
Charagma, yep. And it says, and then the stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand, which really don't mean just the right hand, because I believe in Europe they do the left hand, right? Even to this day, Europe does the left hand; they don't do the right hand. America mostly does the right hand, which proved to you that when the Apostle John, or what they call John the Revelator, was what he was getting revelation on was America, Babylon the Great. So that proves to you that the overall deliverance is here in Babylon the Great, which is America, right? So it doesn't mean just the right hand; it means the hand, right? As a badge of the followers of the Antichrist, which this whole system is Antichrist. So it's not just there are many Antichrists already. Even Yahushua said that, and the system is Antichrist. So yeah, there's many Antichrists, right? It says this is my favorite thing right here to break it down. It says the mark branded upon a horse. And I don't know if you know about, I always mention this. There was, when they first came out with this thing, this is one of the first things that they actually put it on was horse or cattle, right? Because horses used to leave, or the cattle would mix in with someone else's cattle. Sometimes the cows look all the same. So if you put the little, the micro C hip in them, all you do is scan it, and scanning it gives you the product buying code, which tells you where it comes from and who owns it, right? And basically the same thing. And then when you go into the word, or the thing that people call animal, especially when you go back in the day, they used to call a horse, even a horse or animal or dog, cat. Any of those, they would call it just a beast. So when you got these, your animals, right? Which I believe Bishop Nate said something about. I guess I'm gonna have to get my my dog to buy me land or something, like making light of the situation. Well, an animal is called a beast, and they have that mark, which that mark is eventually they plan on putting that into people, which that's what they're telling you. They're going to have this. What do biometric means? Bio meaning body. Metrics is a measurement of what? Of currency, right? So things carved, right? What they're going to carved, graven work, idolatrous idols, right? Which that's what this is. It's they're going to be printing out all these different micro C hips, which is an idolatrous, right? Because it's going to be idolatry. You're going to be worshiping Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, right? And this is
Strong's G 5482. Kharaks.
Karaks, or Karaks. This one said Karakso, to sharpen to a point, right? Right. So now, now you know what the market. The market is something that's going to be something has to take. Now something has to be taken and to press the charagma into, make it to be the mark, right? The delivery system. I mean, needle, right? Because they have these people, whether it's a doctor or a what do you call it? A licensed ear piercer or tattoo artist, right? That they're gonna give them permission to put the charagma within you, right? And basically, like I was explaining to you, because they had that Palisades fire. So there you go, a pale or stake or palisade, right? And that's ultimately what Esau did to us, basically like a picket fence, but they made it big. It was huge. They took basically literally, I mean, tree size and cut them down to a point and drove them into the ground and made a fenced wall. So when we try to run out, which basically is like a trap, it's a snare. So basically, this is so you can't get away from them, right? Going into the digital currency. So because it's talking about buying and selling. So this ain't talking about just putting you in a thing, which they are talking about corralling you, right? The 15-minute cities is to corral you. And now you gotta have the micro C hip. You won't be able to. You can't go out the 15-minute city, but only, I think they say only gonna give you 6 times or 5 times throughout the year. Maybe you can go somewhere else, but there's 365 days out of the year, and you're only gonna be able to do that like maybe 5 to 6 times, right? Because this is what they're saying they're gonna allow you to be able to do, right? Because they're gonna be your God, right? Your, you know what I mean, your master, right? So yeah, the ideal of scratching, right? Piercing you, taking in and piercing you, sharp point, right? Oh, I can see anything else. Definition of a defense entrenchment rampart that completely circles a possession being defended, right? But so what is this thing going to be defending, right? It's going to be basically within you in a siege, a trench, right? So this is kind of like I said, palisade. It's kind of a way of putting a trench about you. But this is going to be the delivery system, right? A needle or so, right? And then it's sent to buy and sell. So it said that's the mark, the mark, which is charagma. It's the actual, grain of rice or whatever it may be, or the little thing. But each one, it has to be delivered into the bio, because that's why they're calling it biometric, right? Into the bio meaning body, right? And the metric, and then so this biometric is within you, right? A measurement of money, and it has with grapho,
Strong's G 1125. Grapho.
To write, with referring to the form of a letter, right? Parchment paper, or other material. See, so this thing could be any type of material, right? So when you think of what is it like? It's like what they call a motherboard, right? And it has all the information, but they're saying this motherboard, so to speak, is going to be small. It's going to be like the size of a grain of rice, or it's going to be very small. It's going to be, insignificant in size. And they might even try to make them smaller. So, because like people don't like the way that thing it feels when it's touching people's hands, and it feels funny. People don't like that. So they might even try to make them smaller. It depends on their ability to have the technology like that. But as far as we know of, it's like a grain of rice, right? And and that's a totally different material. And I'm just going to get to the point right here where it says B. It says B. To commit to writing things not to be forgotten, right? And this is my write down records. So it's saying, hey, this charagma, this mark, is going to have something that's going to be sharp, and that sharp thing is going to allow another thing that have records on it to be within you or on you, right? And then like they're saying, first it's just your phone, your ID, but pretty soon it's going to be your biometric, right? Yeah. So basically, like they were talking about the biometric. So bio says bio, a biographic or short graphicals file profile of someone, right? Let's see. Biographical, Slovakia, right? Of someone. See, and that's what they're doing. But this is a what it is, man. It says of data, right? So that little motherboard, whatever, gonna have your data or written work dealing with a particular person's life. So it's gonna have all your life up on it. Your dental work, your arrest record, if you ever been arrested, if you ever your credit, your where you were born, everything about you, right? Obviously, it's going to be linked to your bank. Obviously, that's what they're saying. So it's linked to their bank. So it's going to have their banking records, your driving license, right? Your social security number. Everything about you is going to be linked to this, right? So, yeah. So I'm just say freak it and just go ahead and just ask the definition, right? This is a dictionary, Oxford language. Just in Google. It says involving the automated recognition. See, that's what they want to do. They want to recognize you, right? Via what's that thing they're doing also? Facial recognition of individuals by means of unique physical characters, typically for the purposes of security. And that's exactly what they were saying in that article, that it was about security, but it's mandatory. So no one can steal your, hey, but this is what they want to get off on you. But it's really so no one can buy or sell. You won't be able to make any money under the table. I mean, the whole way of life is done. Life as you know it before is finished. right? So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom to the elect, right? To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father, and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball, and Kwame Yasharala.